Hey everyone, welcome back to Podcast for Your Life. Jam and Jason here. Jason, what is the topic for this episode?
Today, we are going to be talking about habits. Jam and I both have both good and bad habits.
Habits, and not meaning what nuns wear, right? We're pretty want to be clear on that from the very beginning.
Habits of what?
The habit is the thing that nuns wear. It's one of the words for.
Yeah, sorry. It's been a long time since I took Latin school, Jam. Habits. Let's define them. Okay.
Yes.
We're taking off in this plane, this Podcast for Your Life plane, and we're going to hit about 27,000 feet, and we're going to look down, and there will be this description of habits on the ground, and they are basically consistent behavior.
Okay.
I think is what we both decided is what we're going to define habits are.
Yes.
There, you can get it really specific, and there's probably science that will dictate what is and what isn't a habit, and what's a good, what's a bad habit. But we're just going to go off of consistent behavior.
Yeah.
That's going to be our guardrails for today's episode.
Right. And I think most people know this, but most times we talk about habits, we talk about bad habits. But habits can also be good.
Yeah.
And so we're going to touch on that a little bit too. But yeah, it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting topic, I guess, in the sense that, like, we, in general, as humans, just have habits. It's such a natural inclination to form behaviors that we just routinely do, whether they really matter to our day or they're just little quirky things. It seems kind of just like part of our nature to have them.
Yeah, I think our brains, there's a part of our brains that probably was engineered to pick up on repetition. Like, if you think about the very basic habits that you first learn are walking.
Yeah.
That's probably like one of the earliest ones I can think of. Maybe crawling, I guess crawling. You know, because like crawling actually does involve a little bit of coordination. So it's impressive that when you're like 4 months old, you can crawl. Or I don't know how old, but
I think too, like, not even just like physical movement like that, but I think you start to pick up on habits as a young human being that can get like attention of your parents, or like if like you realize as a baby, like, oh, if I do this kind of thing, I've noticed that I get food. They probably don't think those things that detailed in their brains.
No, not at all.
But clearly, it's even if it's something very unrelated, they do something. They realize this was related to this, and so they do it again.
Yeah. There's like, we're almost built for these kind of cause and effect scenarios, if you think about it. Because most of the time, like with habits, there's a cause, like, you know, I am hungry, and so the effect would be, you know, like, I need food, I'm going to make myself food because I'm hungry. Because I know that if I make myself food, I'm going to be fed, and therefore I will be filled. Mm-hmm. So the habit then of, like, making food is, it's like this kind of cause and effect sort of deal. Does that make sense? It's like, we like have these problems, and we need to solve these problems, and we find out, hey, there are patterns that I can pick up to these problems.
Yes. And what's interesting too is that I think if you look too broadly, a habit is anything that we ever do ever.
That's consistent.
It's consistent.
Yeah.
But I think there's a distinction that most people make when they talk about habits.
Yep.
That it is a smaller, less significant thing per se. So what I mean is, like, eating, every human, if they want to continue to live, should have a habit of eating.
That's right.
So
should.
But I think what's more interesting about just talking about habits is the other side of it, the things that are either meaningless habits we have or bad habits that we've picked up, and that there's the whole talk about people, they consciously want to change a specific habit, but they can't. Like, they have a hard time doing it, just getting sort of control over your behavior. I think that's super interesting. Like, it's just so weird that we're like that. Whereas it's not quite... We're probably going to steer clear of some of the obvious habits like eating and drinking.
Right, yeah. But again, we're talking about just like a really...
Super broad
thing.
Right.
Yeah, habits are interesting. I think, I agree. They're the idea that it's like, it's not just the basics that everybody does, but they're almost like specific things to maybe a smaller portion of the population. Like, not everybody bites their nails, but there are a large chunk of people that bite their nails, and that has thus been considered a habit.
Yeah, and they can't really just stop it. I mean,
they're not consciously doing it, maybe? Like, they're not, like, consciously doing it every time, and therefore it's like, I have to put conscious effort into not biting my nails.
Yeah, so when it becomes a habit. So do you think that when something becomes a habit is when it becomes less conscious?
Probably.
You know you're doing it, but it doesn't take the whole train of thought where you're like, hey, look, look at this nail. I do want to bite it. How about I do that? Now I will commence biting it. And now I'm biting my nail.
That's so weird when you like bring that and break it down like that.
Yeah.
So speaking of habits, just to make it personal, what kind of habits do you have?
I actually really had a really hard time thinking this, and I know that like I almost thought about texting Emily and being like, hey, what are some habits I have? Because
Yeah.
she would respond with an incredibly long list. But it's weird too because you want to think of some that are sort of more unique to you, maybe,
Sure.
or I don't know, or ones that you're frustrated with and you wish you could change or you want to or something like that. So, do you want a bad habit first or a good one?
Whatever you want.
Okay. A bad habit
Okay.
of mine is that I can be really bad about opening and responding to text messages. Like, I am bad at doing that. So,
Okay.
do you want me to?
I mean, that may not necessarily be a bad habit, but
Here.
it's a habit.
It's a
nonetheless.
habit.
It can be bad because, like, if the person's like dying and they texted you, and then, well, that's
Well-
a question of why they text you when they're dying. But
Right,
anyway,
you should call me.
yeah,
Yeah. No. In general, a lot of things like that in text are not urgent. That's
Sure.
that's the deal. But
that's the idea.
it's sort of common, especially if I'm around people that I know well and spend time with, like
Sure.
outside of work, especially in my church and stuff. Like, hey, I texted you about that. You never responded, and then I'm like, oh,
Right.
dang it, I need to change this
So
habit.
then that makes it at some points a bad habit. So
Yeah.
how many unread text messages do you have right now?
So I have 44
44.
unread text messages.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm like the exact opposite. I wouldn't say I have the habit of checking messages, but like I hate having notification badges. So
I mean, some of them are really stupid, but let me go. I mean, some of them are
no
things like,
offense if you're listening and you were one of
no,
those
no, no.
few.
You know how sometimes you get messages that are like,
Yeah.
your one-time security code is this, and I forgot to open it.
Oh, that's terrible. That I
Yeah.
don't even know. If
I'm gonna click on some of those. So here's my real oldest message right now.
Mm-hmm.
My message is only saved for 30 days, and 30 days ago deletes every day. So
It gets forgotten.
yeah. So the oldest message I have is someone inviting me very last minute to their Super Bowl party, and
Whoa.
it was a lot of thought that would have to go into a response, and I knew before I even really read the thing that I was going to say no, and it was really last minute. And rather than deal with it right then, I thought maybe I'll answer this in a little bit later. And then
Tomorrow, the day after the Super Bowl, they'll probably realize I'm not able to come.
right. I mean, anyway, so I just didn't respond. I'm going to open it now.
We're
And
sorry, person.
No, I closed it. All right. The next one is from the dry cleaners. Give me a coupon. I did not use
interesting.
it. Okay. Yeah, here's another one. It's a real one. My friend texted me. This is a good example. My friend texted me about season 2 of Twin Peaks that he's been watching it. And I didn't get a chance to respond right then. And so I didn't open it because I care a lot about the show Twin Peaks. And I want to go back and respond to it. If I open it, then it's going to get lost forever because I'll forget completely. So as long as it's a number there, then it will not be forgotten.
Wow.
All right. Sorry, that's my
sounds
bad
like a
habit.
struggle, man.
It
I'm
is.
Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. So I need to get better about that. What about you? A bad habit?
One of my habits is biting my nails. I don't know if that's actually a bad thing. Some folks would say that's bad. Others would say it's not. Some might say it's like a nervous habit. I don't know. But all my fingers are still here so far, and all my nails are still here. So I'm
Yep.
10 for 10 with that.
And your nails are always really trim and nice.
Thank you.
So
That's because I bite them. They're not really nice. They're like jagged, and anyway, that's probably gross for some people. When I was growing up, I would sometimes bite them, and sort of still bite them at church. And my mom would always elbow me or hit my hands while we're in church, and like, stop. That's a bad habit. Stop doing it. And she always was like trying to get me to stop. I still am doing them, and all I remember is just my mom trying to make me to stop.
did she still elbow you?
No.
Okay.
No. Not.
Good.
I mean, like, it's just kind of like, stop it. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. And I'm just like, gosh, I'm sorry. Like,
Interesting.
Maybe I was biting them as a nervous habit because I was nervous that my mom was going to notice.
I think it's self-perpetuating
Yeah, right.
habit there.
So
That's
that's
interesting.
one of my habits. A good habit, and again, this may not be that good, but I started putting the toilet seat down a long time ago. And I think I did it in response to such a public outcry to like, oh, men never put the seat down, or men are pigs, or whatever. And I was like,
and you have a sister too, so that might
I have a
matter.
sister and mom and a wife now, and
Yeah.
I still put the seat down. And it's a habit more than anything. I don't think there's anything intrinsically good about doing that, and I don't think it's really that hard for people to put the seat down themselves, guys and girls. But I think there was just something in me that was like, man, there's such a fuss about this. I should just start doing that. Just like, hey, what have I got to lose? You know?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
5 extra seconds for me. So that's what I would say is one of my good habits. And then last, this one is a just weird habit.
Okay.
And a lot of people say this is weird. I have when I'm eating and I'm having like, a main entree or like a main dish, and then I have like 2 sides. So for example, if you have like a burger and fries and coleslaw, I will always eat each thing individually. I won't eat them at the same time. So I'll have the coleslaw, and then I'll have the fries, and then I'll finish with the burger. I won't have like a bite of burger and then a bite of fries and then a bite of coleslaw. I don't like to mix flavors in my mouth. I like to enjoy each one individually. I think that is a great way of enjoying food. I think more people should do
But
it. But people think that there's like this greatest satisfaction in like combining all the flavors and just having this like stomach in your mouth sort of a feeling, because that's basically how it
No. Here's the other way. So you're thinking there's only 2 ways. The other way is taking some bites of burger, completing them, swallowing them, having some fries,
Yep.
completing them, swallowing them, going back to burger.
But yeah, exactly. But then you still have to go back to the burger, and you'll still have to go back to the fries.
Yeah, it's a back and forth. But what I really like about that is you're getting a little bit of both. So I'd rather go around from thing to thing and hope that they all kind of finish up in the same round.
Interesting.
That's what I rather. But what I'm saying is that I don't want to mix things in my mouth either. I don't want to have fries and burger
right.
in my mouth at the same time. But I like to go back and forth because I feel like it resets the palate a little bit, and then I reappreciate the burger again. You know.
Okay.
You know, like a
possibly.
lot of sides are a little chill like that. Like fries are good, but they're not like amazing. They are, in terms of flavor, pretty simple.
Yeah.
Whereas burger complexity, there's some different sauces, different layers of stuff going on. I want to reset the palate with the fries and maybe some water or whatever I'm drinking.
Resetting the palate. That's a cool.
And then go back to burger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so you're basically your taste level would be just like the stock market, kind of ups and downs. Mine's kind of like a spike and a plateau.
Yeah, but mine would be over time going up. It wouldn't
potentially
just be spiking down,
right.
You know what I mean? So,
Who knows? It's all subjective. So
it's true. Okay, I have a good habit I'm going to share.
Okay,
and then we probably should close up.
Probably.
But one of my good habits that I think is a pretty good one is I have some very specific ways I do email. And I don't mean organization. That's actually, I'm horrible at that in email. But I mean the way that I write emails. I try to make sure that I always include a question. I read something somewhere about that. And I've always done that for the most part since then. Unless it's somebody I know really well that's like right across the office or something. But if somebody I'm emailing for the first time, or I don't know them very well, or they're at a different branch of our organization or something, I always try to include questions in my email, at least one, ideally 2, so that it elicits a conversation. It's not just me shouting statements. It's like invites their answers, their feedback, speaking into something. Also, I like to not start sentences with I, me, or we, but try to turn them around because it makes it seem like very self-focused if you do that.
It's very specific.
Yeah. So that seems to have worked well. I haven't had any email arguments since I've started doing that. So
yeah, me neither, and I haven't done that.
Great.
All right, guys.
Can never be too careful.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, with that, we're gonna wrap up. Just moral of the story is watch your I's and we's, and yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Hopefully, you'll think about the habits you have, and if you need to change, like it's okay, no pressure. We're not pressuring you to change.
Yeah, and if you're a nun wearing a habit, no need to change.
Yep, no need to change that habit. All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye.